Level 1. The Heir. You're 6 years old. Your father, Desmond Ashcroft, built Ashcroft Maritime from a single leased tanker into a shipping empire worth $400 million by the time you're born. The second child, first son. Your house has 11 bedrooms and a staff of 9. A driver named Ruben picks you up from a kindergarten that costs more per year than most people's cars. Your mother, Vivian, hires a violin tutor before you can read. At your 6th birthday, a magician performs for you and 11 other children, invited more for their father's names than your friendship. You don't know yet that the ease around you isn't the way most people live. You just know the house is warm, the staff smiles, and your father is rarely home before 9. Level 2. The Golden Child. You're 11. You start at Pemberton Hall, a private school where the tuition alone exceeds your driver's yearly salary. A boy named Toby Lang becomes your closest friend there, one of the only kids whose family isn't also on your father's client list. Teachers grade you gently. You notice it, even at 11, and you hate it a little without knowing why. Your father takes you to the Ashcroft Maritime shipyard for the first time, walks you along a dry-docked hull 3 stories tall, and tells you it will be yours one day. You don't understand what yours really means yet. You just like how his hand feels on your shoulder when he says it. Level 3. The Heir Apparent. You're 16. You get a car for your birthday that costs more than a house in most of the country. Your father starts bringing you to board meetings, quiet, in the back, told to watch and say nothing. You watch a man named Grant Feld, your father's longtime partner and CFO, argue for expanding the fleet on borrowed money. Your father overrules him twice, then agrees the third time. You don't understand the numbers, but you understand the room went quiet when he said yes. Toby starts pulling away that year. He never says why. You assume it's just growing up. You don't consider, even once, that it might be about the gap between his family and yours. Level 4. The Prince of the Company. You're 21, home from university with an economics degree nobody in your family thought you needed. Your father gives you a title, Vice President of Operations, and an office 2 doors from his. You don't fully earn it, and everyone in the building knows it, including you. Grant Feld trains you anyway, patient in a way that feels almost like guilt. Ashcroft Maritime has expanded to 60 ships now, most of it financed through loans Grant quietly flags as aggressive. Your father waves it off in every meeting you sit in. You sign your first contract that year, a $200 million vessel order, in a room full of people who applaud before you've even set the pen down. You believe, completely, that this is simply what your life is. Level 5. The Collapse. You're 24. A shipping rate crash hits the industry in March, and Ashcroft Maritime is leveraged further than anyone outside Grant Feld's office ever knew. 3 lenders call their loans in the same month. Your father spends April on the phone 12 hours a day, and by May, his voice on those calls has a pitch you've never heard from him before. On a Tuesday in June, the company files for bankruptcy. 41 ships get seized at port within the week. The house, the cars, your mother's jewelry, all of it listed as collateral you never knew existed. Grant Feld resigns the same day, cites nothing, says nothing more. Your father sits in the empty living room that night, the furniture already tagged for auction, and doesn't say a single word to you. You realize, sitting across from him, that you have no idea who you are without any of this. Level 6. The Fall. You're 25. You move into a 1-bedroom apartment with your parents, the 3 of you sharing a space smaller than your childhood bedroom alone. Your father doesn't leave the apartment for weeks. Your mother sells her remaining jewelry piece by piece to a pawnbroker who recognizes her name and lowballs her anyway. You call 11 contacts from your old office. 9 don't call back. Toby Lang, the one friend who wasn't there for the money, is the only one who shows up, unannounced, with 2 weeks of groceries. You take a job at a shipping logistics firm as an entry-level coordinator, using a name that used to open every door in that industry and now means nothing to anyone hiring you. Your first paycheck is $412. You stare at it longer than you expect to. Level 7. Rock Bottom. You're 27. Your father, unable to find work at 60, sinks into a silence your family stops trying to break. You're working 2 jobs, days at the logistics firm, nights doing freelance customs paperwork for small importers who pay in cash. A man named Hank Delgado, who runs a tiny freight brokerage, is the only person who ever asks about your background and doesn't flinch. He teaches you the parts of the business your father's empire always paid other people to know. Your mother starts working the front desk at a dental office. Neither of you mentions what she used to wear to work. Grant Feld resurfaces once, in an email, an apology you read 4 times and never answer. You learn, slowly, exactly how much of your old life required other people's labor to exist. Level 8. The Rebuild. You're 33. You leave the logistics firm and start your own small freight brokerage with money you actually saved, $11,000, a fraction of a single dinner your family used to host. Hank Delgado becomes your first partner, then your first real friend in the industry. You work out of a shared office space with 3 folding desks and a coffee machine that breaks twice a month. Your father, 66 now, comes in twice a week to answer phones, insists on it, says nothing about the fact that he's answering phones. You land your first major client the same way your father once did, by underbidding everyone else and delivering anyway. Your revenue that year is $190,000. It is, somehow, the number you're proudest of in your entire life. Level 9. What he built. You're 42. Ashcroft Freight, the company with your name on it, does $18 million a year now. Small compared to what Ashcroft Maritime once was. Entirely yours in a way the old empire never was. Your father, 75, still comes in twice a week, filing invoices now instead of answering phones, and you let him because you finally understand what he needed the work for. Toby Lang's son interns for you one summer, and you pay him exactly what you pay everyone else at that level. You buy a house, modest by your childhood standard, paid for in full, and you notice you check the mail yourself every single day. Grant Feld dies that year. You send flowers. You still don't know if you've forgiven him. 36 years since a magician performed at a birthday party for 11 children who barely knew your name. Your father passes 2 years later, in the apartment he insisted on keeping even after you offered him something bigger. Toby Lang is still your closest friend, the way he's been since Pemberton Hall, since before either of you understood what separated your families. Hank Delgado is a full partner now. Your mother still works 2 days a week at that dental office, says she likes the people. You tell your own children, when they're old enough to ask, that the house isn't the inheritance. The $11,000 you saved while working 2 jobs at 27 is the only fortune you ever actually built yourself, and it's the only one nobody could ever seize. Every level of your first life was given to you. Every level after the fall, you earned. That's the only difference that ever really mattered.